Welcome to my channel. This is Real Talk Podcast, where we dive into honest conversations, real stories, and practical English learning tips. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your sources and really go beyond the surface.
Yeah, we try to get to the core ideas.
Think of it as getting that essential understanding, the stuff that, really sticks, without you having to wade through it all yourself. Today we're diving into everyday English conversations. We're using a book specifically created for English language learners as our guide.
Exactly. And it's this great collection of dialogues covering real-life situations you'd actually encounter using American English.
Right, from meeting people, handling stuff around town, which you chat about.
Yeah, pastimes, all that.
And our mission here, really, is to pull out what's truly useful. We're looking at the common ways people talk, those phrases you hear constantly.
And even some of the cultural cues behind the conversation.
Exactly. So even if you're not actively, studying English, understanding these interactions can give you a much richer sense of how American English sounds and the culture it reflects.
Definitely. The book touches on introductions, small talk, getting around, hobbies, quite a range.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how these, simple dialogues can reveal so much about how people connect day to day.
It really is. It's like being a fly on the wall for all those little moments that make up daily life.
Okay, let's dive right in then, those crucial first moments. Introductions and small talk. The book kicks off showing the difference between formal and informal greetings.
That's right. Dialogues 1-1 and 1-2 make that contrast super clear. You've got the formal, "Good morning, Professor Austin, how are you doing?" versus the much more relaxed, "Hi, Helen, how's it going?"
And it mentions the handshake, too, right? That firm, brief handshake often goes with the greeting in the U.S.
Yeah, it's a quick physical acknowledgement. Interesting point.
And even just saying hi, informally apparently, stretching out that I sound, like I-E, can show you're genuinely pleased to see someone.
A small thing, but it adds that warmth.
So then we get to the introductions themselves. Dialogue 1-3 has a formal one, Mr. Wilson meeting Dr. Smith, who's an economist.
Right, and you hear that standard polite phrase, "It's nice to meet you, Dr. Smith."
What's interesting there is how fast they move to professional stuff.
Totally. Dr. Smith mentions his book, Mr. Wilson Works for the UN. They're finding common ground through work, international trade.
It suggests that in more formal settings, maybe establishing those professional links is a big part of the introduction.
Yeah, seems like it. Then you compare that to Dialogue 1-4, Jim and Mary meeting at a party.
Much simpler. "Mary, this is my friend Jim. Hi, Jim. Nice to meet you."
And almost immediately, Jim offers her a drink. The whole vibe is different.
The setting just changes the whole tone, doesn't it? Social gathering, more relaxed.
Exactly. It's about personal connection, not professional credentials.
Okay, what about softening requests? Dialogue 1-6 has John asking Alice, "I was wondering if you'd like to go to a movie tonight."
Yes. That I was wondering if construct.
It definitely makes the invitation feel less demanding, less direct.
It really does. It's a classic way to be indirect, kind of test the waters without putting someone on the spot.
Gives Alice an easier no if she needs it.
Right. Maybe reflects a bit of that cultural preference for politeness, avoiding anything too pushy.
And even saying thank you, the responses vary. Dialogue 1-1 has the formal, "You are welcome."
But then the book lists all the informal ones. Don't mention it, no problem, happy to help.
Quite a spectrum there.
And what's interesting is how those choices signal the relationship, right? No problem feels fine with a friend.
But maybe too casual with your boss, perhaps.
Exactly. It's all about reading those social cues, even in tiny phrases.
Okay, something we've all dealt with. Bad phone connections. Dialogue 1-7 nails this.
Oh yeah, phrases like, "What did you say? Can you repeat that?"
And then explaining the problem. The phone is cutting out, the line is breaking up.
Or even just the call dropped. Super practical stuff.
Because, phone calls still happen. The book also mentions alternatives like just, "Excuse me," or "I beg your pardon," if you didn't hear.
Good point. Different levels of formality there, too.
Then you get those nice little surprises, coincidences.
Yeah.
Dialogue 1-8, Meg runs into Julia.
Long time no see.
And what a coincidence. You can almost hear the surprise, the book says, through emphasizing certain words.
Yeah, that "what a structure" really amps up the emotion. What a surprise, what a small world. Such a common reaction to bumping into someone unexpectedly.
Right, highlights how connected we feel sometimes. And you can't talk small talk without the weather. Dialogue 1-9.
Of course not. It's brief, but you get those casual nods like, "Yeah," or
"Yep," in phrases like, "That's what I read online this morning." Plus weather terms, cold front, Wind chill.
Definitely part of the standard vocabulary. Weather's just such an easy, neutral starting point for conversation, isn't it?
Totally. A safe zone.
Everyone has an opinion, even if it's just complaining.
All right, let's shift gears. Let's go around town. Section 2 of the book. Lots of everyday scenarios here.
Yeah, like ordering food in Dialogue 2-1.
You hear that standard opener, can I start you off with something to drink?
And then typical ordering like, I'll have, and the all-important steak question, rare, medium, or well done.
The book notes how people often stress the food item. I'll have the chicken sandwich. Helps clarify.
Good point. And Anna saying, I'll just have the fish, implies no appetizer first. Little nuances.
Dialogue 2-2 takes us to the doctor's office, a place we all end up sometimes.
Yep. Common ways to describe symptoms. Bad cough, sore throat, headache.
And giving a time frame like about 3 days.
Then the doctor's instructions are very direct, using that imperative form. Take aspirin, get plenty of rest.
Straightforward, which makes sense in that context.
Absolutely. Clarity is key there. These are really fundamental phrases for navigating healthcare.
Asking for directions, giving directions, Dialogue 2-3. It contrasts the polite, indirect. Could you tell me where the library is?
Right, versus the more direct, where is the library?
Subtle difference in word order there.
It is. Where the library is versus where is the library. Signals politeness.
And there's that nice empathy moment, too. Oh, I know how you feel, when Mark says he's new in town.
Yeah, that's a great little phrase for building rapport. Shows you're listening and connecting.
Okay, Dialogue 2-4, calling for help. Obviously serious.
Highlights the crucial info needed. Your location, what's happening.
And mentions 911, the U.S. emergency number.
The key in an emergency is being clear, concise. Stressing car accident, the specific address. Gets help there faster. Even the quick, hey, at the start signals urgency.
Right. Even a simple supermarket trip, Dialogue 240, has conversational takeaways.
Like the casual suggestion, how about baking some cookies today?
That, how about plus the ing verb form? Very common.
And the little thinking pause, Or talking about recipes, the recipe calls for.
Useful phrase. And it explains aisle those rows in the store. Good for learners.
Thanks.
Running errands, Dialogue 2-6. This introduces a really useful structure. Get or have, plus the object, plus the past participle.
Yes. Like, get my hair cut, have my pants hemmed, have my car serviced.
It's like a grammatical shortcut for services someone else does for you.
Exactly. Very efficient. Get my car washed. Washed describes the car after the action.
Makes sense. Then, the post office, Dialogue 2-7, shows how prices are set, sometimes just the numbers.
Oh.
$11.35.
Or more formally, $11.35.
And that relatable moment, oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Yes, that little yeah interjection signals a sudden thought or memory perfectly.
Dialogue 2-8, catching up after class. Friendly greetings like, hey.
Asking how things went. How did your physics exam go?
And casual suggestions. Do you feel like studying?
Again, that do you feel like plus ing, another relaxed way to propose something.
Shopping next, 2-9, the standard salesperson line. Can I help you?
Expressing preferences. I'd rather have it in blue. Asking the price. How much is it?
And it explains try it on as a separable phrasal verb. That's a good grammar point.
Yeah, you can try the shirt on or try it on, but usually try it on when using the pronoun.
Right, the pronoun goes in the middle. Good tip.
Subtle, but important for sounding natural.
Okay, last one in this section. Transportation, 2-10. Comparing options. Should we take a taxi or a bus?
Explaining rush hour, essential city knowledge.
Totally. And using negative questions when you expect a yes. Isn't that a bus stop over there?
Right, often used when you're pretty sure but want confirmation.
Plus that little sigh of disappointment. Oh no. When the bus pulls away.
We've all been there.
Okay, let's move to the third part. Pastimes and activities. Dialogue 3-1 jumps into talking about age.
And it highlights using really for emphasis. I'm really excited.
And those little tag questions at the end. Aren't you?
Yeah, assumes agreement, keeps the conversation flowing.
It also covers ordinal numbers 55th, 57th, and how going to be becomes going to be in casual speech.
Essential stuff for understanding spoken English. Those contractions like gonna are everywhere.
At the movies. Dialogue 3-2. Polite request. Would you mind moving over?
And that potentially confusing response where no means yes, no, not at all.
Right. If someone asks, would you mind, and you don't mind, the polite answer is negative.
It's one of those English quirks, isn't it? Can definitely trip learners up.
Dialogue 3-3, what are you good at? Contrasts softer suggestions like how about with stronger ones like let's.
And it has that playful challenge. Oh, yeah, we'll see about that.
The tone is everything there.
Absolutely. Intonation makes it a lighthearted competition, not a real argument.
Talking sports, 3-4. Asking about games. What time is that soccer game on?
Expressing preferences. I much prefer basketball. That much adds emphasis.
Showing surprise. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Making casual plans. How about a game sometime?
And the classic invitation for basketball. Shoot some hoops.
Very informal, specific to the activity.
Yeah, good example of that.
Dialogue 3-5 at the theater. Responding to compliments. You are welcome, or that's very kind of you.
The book notes, you are welcome is a safe standard response if you're unsure.
And giving compliments using superlatives, or saying, I'm a fan of.
Right, I'm a fan of is a nice, relaxed way to show appreciation.
Taking vacation, 3-6. It explains red-eye flights.
Ah, yes. Those lovely overnight flights.
That leave you feeling, well, red-eyed.
Exactly. A specific U.S. travel term for late-night departures, early morning arrivals.
At the pet store, 3-7. Expressions of delight. Oh, what a beautiful cat.
Making comparisons. Dogs are more loyal than cats. Always a fun debate.
And the phrase, good point.
Yeah, concise way to acknowledge someone's valid observation. Plus the farewell, take care of. Versatile goodbye.
Giving opinions, 3-8. Looks at verbs like think, believe, suppose, assume.
And points out they're not always synonyms. They have slightly different shades of meaning. Worth noting.
And the idiom make up my mind, meaning to decide.
Such a fundamental phrase for that decision process.
Hobbies, 3-9. Clarifies midterm and final exams. Important for students.
And revisits those colloquialisms. Gonna, wanna, hafta.
Plus the word awesome.
Still a very common word for expressing enthusiasm, even if it feels a bit dated sometimes.
True. Weddings, 3-10. Another negative question expecting yes. Doesn't the bride look beautiful?
Trying to get that agreement.
Explains the cultural importance of the honeymoon and the informal phrase for getting married, tie the knot.
Charming phrase. It also looks at the word just, how it can mean the recent past or are be used for emphasis.
Ah, right. I just finished. Versus, it's just beautiful. Different uses.
A good distinction.
And finally, giving advice. 3-11. Contrasts formal ways, using modals like should or ought to, with informal ways. I think that.
And highlights emphatic phrases like I know so or trust me.
Underscores conviction, and how even the command form can be used gently like, try getting more sleep.
Yeah, depends on tone and context. The choice of formal and informal depends so much on the relationship.
Wow. We really covered a lot of ground there, dug into a huge range of everyday chats.
We really have. It's amazing how much cultural, linguistic information is packed into these seemingly simple dialogues.
Absolutely. And you can hear how getting a handle on these common exchanges can really boost your understanding of spoken English.
And help navigate American social interactions, yeah. Whether you're actively learning or just, curious about communication.
So here's maybe something to think about.
Yeah.
Which of these conversational bits, these nuances we talked about, did you find most surprising, most relevant?
Yeah, like how do these subtle language choices actually shape how we connect and understand each other? It's interesting stuff.
Definitely is. And this exploration, it really just scratches the surface, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. The world of language and culture is massive. Maybe future deep dives could look at, regional differences in the U.S.
Or even things like nonverbal cues. Could be interesting.
Lots of possibilities.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into everyday English.
Yeah, hope it was useful.
We look forward to exploring more with you next time.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time on Real Talk Podcast.